Ever think about how trains manage to stay on track and, like, arrive on time most of the time?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you consider the sheer scale of it all.
It really is. And so many of our listeners have been asking us to dig deeper into the world of railway operations, specifically what keeps everything moving smoothly and safely.
And it's a great suggestion. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't even realize.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about, exploring the critical role of what's called the Command, Control, and Signaling Department in the railway industry.
Or CCS, as it's often known.
Right, CCS. It's essentially the brain and nervous system of the entire railway network.
A great analogy, because it really is about coordinating and controlling all the different aspects of train movement.
So we're going to unpack the key roles within this department and really delve into the diverse expertise that's required to keep things running, like clockwork.
And I think our listeners will be surprised by the sheer variety of jobs and skills involved. It's not just about train drivers and conductors.
Not at all. From engineers and technicians to control room operators and cybersecurity specialists, there's a whole world of specialized roles that are absolutely essential to making sure trains get from point A to point B safely and efficiently.
And as technology keeps advancing, the CCS field is becoming even more complex and interesting.
Definitely. And we'll touch on some of those cutting-edge developments as well. So if you're ready to go beyond the surface and really understand what makes the railway tick, well, then this deep dive is for you.
Let's get started.
Okay, so let's start with something that everyone's familiar with, those signals you see along the tracks.
Right, the red, yellow, and green lights.
Exactly. But there's a whole lot more to them than meets the eye.
Oh, absolutely. Those signals are just the most visible part of a complex system designed to prevent trains from colliding.
And the person behind all of that is the signaling engineer.
Right. You could say they are the unsung heroes of railway safety.
Because they're designing the systems that literally keep trains from running into each other.
Precisely. They are responsible for designing, installing, and maintaining the entire signaling system. Not just the physical signals themselves, but also all the interlocking systems that make sure trains can't end up on the same track at the same time.
So it's more than just putting up a traffic light, right?
Way more. It's a deep understanding of railway operations, electrical engineering, and safety protocols. They need to know how to create a system that's both reliable and fail-safe.
And that must involve a lot of different technologies.
It does. Signaling engineers work with everything from traditional mechanical relays to sophisticated computer systems. It's a blend of old and new technology, all working together to ensure safety.
I imagine it's a challenging job, especially as technology keeps evolving.
It is. But it's also incredibly rewarding, knowing that your work is directly contributing to the safety of millions of passengers.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got the signaling engineer ensuring trains are safely routed. But what about actually controlling the movement of the trains?
Well, that's where the control systems engineer comes in.
And this is where things get a bit more high-tech, right?
It does. Control systems engineers are the ones who work with the advanced systems that automate and optimize train movement.
Things like ETCS and CBTC.
Right, exactly. The European train control system and communication-based train control. These are really sophisticated systems that use digital communication to manage train speed and spacing.
So it's kind of like air traffic control, but for trains.
In a way, yes. The control systems engineer designs and maintains these systems, making sure they're working properly and constantly communicating with the trains.
And I imagine safety is a huge consideration here.
Absolutely. These systems are critical for preventing accidents, so they need to be incredibly reliable and meet very strict safety regulations.
So it's a blend of cutting-edge technology and meticulous attention to detail.
Exactly. And it's a field that's constantly evolving as new technologies emerge.
Okay, so we have the signaling systems to guide the trains and the control systems to manage their movement. But none of that would work without reliable communication, right?
That's right. Communication is the lifeblood of the railway, and that's where the railway telecom engineer comes in.
So they're the ones making sure everyone can talk to each other.
They are. They're responsible for all the communication networks that connect train operators, stations, and control centers.
And we're talking about a lot of different technologies here, I imagine.
Oh, a huge range. Everything from radio systems to fiber optic cables to specialized mobile networks like GSMR.
GSMR.
Yeah, it stands for Global System for Mobile Communications Rail. It's essentially a dedicated mobile network designed specifically for railway use.
Fascinating. So they're essentially building and maintaining a massive communication infrastructure just for the railway.
Exactly. And it has to be incredibly reliable. Any communication breakdown could have serious consequences for both safety and efficiency.
I can see why that's so crucial. You can't coordinate anything without clear and reliable communication.
Right. And the railway telecom engineer is the one who makes sure that communication is always flowing smoothly.
Now, we've talked about the engineers who design and manage all these systems, but what about the people who are actually out there on the tracks making sure everything is working properly?
Ah, you're talking about the signaling technician.
Right, the hands-on expert.
Exactly. They're the ones who work directly with the signaling equipment out in the field.
So when a signal malfunctions, they're the ones who go out and fix it.
Precisely. They do routine maintenance, troubleshooting, repairs, you name it. They're like the mechanics of the signaling world.
I imagine they have to be pretty adaptable working in all kinds of conditions.
Oh, yeah. Rain or shine, they're out there keeping the signals working, and they need a deep understanding of both the mechanical and electrical aspects of the system.
It sounds like a very hands-on, practical job.
It is, and it's vital for keeping the railway running safely and smoothly. They're the ones who make sure those signals stay green.
Now, let's move into the control room where everything comes together.
Ah, the nerve center of the railway.
And the person at the helm is the control room operator, right?
Or sometimes called the train controller.
And they have a pretty big responsibility, I'd say.
Absolutely. They're the ones who are monitoring and managing train movements across the entire network.
So they're looking at screens with all the train locations and making sure everything is on schedule.
Exactly. And they're using real-time data from the signaling and control systems to make decisions about routing, speed, and spacing.
And I bet they have to be able to think on their feet when things go wrong.
Oh, absolutely. They're the ones who have to respond to emergencies, manage delays, and keep everything running smoothly, even when there are disruptions.
It sounds like an incredibly demanding job.
It is. It requires a cool head, excellent communication skills, and the ability to make quick decisions under pressure.
So they're essentially conductors, orchestrating the entire railway symphony.
I like that analogy. They really are the ones who bring it all together.
Now, looking towards the future, automation and artificial intelligence are playing an increasingly important role in many industries. And the railway is no exception, right?
Definitely not. AI is already starting to transform railway CCS, and it's only going to become more important in the future.
And the people driving this innovation are the automation and AI specialists, right?
Exactly. They're the ones who are developing and implementing the algorithms that can make trains smarter, safer, and more efficient.
So things like AI-powered train control systems.
Right. Systems that can optimize train speed, braking, and even handle some aspects of driving autonomously.
Self-driving trains, huh?
It's not science fiction anymore. It's something that's actively being developed and tested.
And I imagine predictive maintenance is another big area where AI can play a role.
Absolutely. AI can analyze data from sensors on trains and tracks to identify potential problems before they cause delays or breakdowns.
It's all about making the railway more proactive and less reactive.
Exactly. And that's where AI really shines. It can help us anticipate and prevent issues rather than just reacting to them after they happen.
Now, with all this advanced technology comes the need for robust cybersecurity.
Oh, absolutely. Cybersecurity is paramount in railway CCS. You can't have a safe and reliable system if it's vulnerable to cyber attacks.
And that's where the cybersecurity specialist comes in, right?
Exactly. They're the guardians of the digital realm, making sure that the CCS networks and systems are protected from hackers, malware, and data breaches.
I imagine that's a pretty challenging job given how interconnected everything is these days.
It is, but it's also incredibly important. A successful cyber attack on a railway system could have devastating consequences.
So they're really on the front lines defending critical infrastructure.
They are, and their work is only becoming more important as the railway becomes more reliant on digital technology.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from the fundamentals of signaling to the cutting edge of AI and cybersecurity.
It's amazing how much goes into keeping the trains running on time and safely.
It really is. And I think what's clear is that the CCS department is a vital part of the railway ecosystem.
Absolutely. It's the backbone of the entire operation.
And for anyone interested in a career in the railway industry, the CCS field offers a wide range of exciting and rewarding opportunities.
Whether you're interested in engineering, technology, or cybersecurity, there's a role for you in CCS.
So as you, our listener, think about all the different roles we've discussed, Consider the incredible complexity and interconnectedness of the modern railway network.
It's a testament to human ingenuity and collaboration.
And it makes you wonder, doesn't it, about the future of railway technology?
What new innovations will emerge?
How will automation and AI further transform the way trains operate?
And what new challenges and opportunities will arise for the CCS professionals of tomorrow?
It's an exciting time to be involved in this dynamic and evolving industry.
And who knows what the future holds?
But one thing is for sure. The CCS department will continue to play a critical role in shaping the railway of the future.
A future where trains are even safer, more efficient, and more sustainable.
And that's something worth getting excited about. So that's our deep dive into the command, control, and signaling department of the railway industry.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you found it informative and engaging.
And that you have a newfound appreciation for the intricate world of railway CCS.
And until next time, safe travels.